reflexes like a mongoose on amphetamines. Waving his Wilson wand. Super scintillating and sensational from Sosa. It's tennis near the gods. No mortal may have...
Welcome back to Tennis Near the Gods. I'm Alex, joined alongside my brother Nicholas. And today we're going to be recapping Stuttgart, the 250, and Hertogenbosch, also 250. And then kind of previewing the two 500s that are this week in Halle and Queen's Club London with the Fever Tree Championship. So we're going to start off with our two winners. We had Adrian Mannarino taking the title in Hertogenbosch, and we had Matteo Berrettini taking the title in Stuttgart. Stuttgart was the deeper of the two draws, headlined by Alexander Zverev. You had Milos Raonic in it at the same time. You had Daniil Medvedev, a lot of high-level players.
Karen Khachanov.
Exactly. So that was really the tournament that I had my eye on. And you saw Felix Auger-Aliassime in the final. He got a withdrawal from Milos Raonic. So it'll be interesting to see. Raunic's been struggling with injuries his entire career, but obviously he's coming back for the grass because he's most likely to succeed. It's not necessarily his best surface, but he's likely to succeed on grass. It's a short season, not physically taxing as much. So, and he's planning to play in the first round in London as well. So hopefully he's back to normal. But takeaways from this draw: Felix Auger-Aliassime, impressive first 250 on grass.
Yeah.
Makes the final.
Third final of his career. Hasn't won one yet.
Routine first two rounds. Not routine, but just took care of business. No three-setters there. And then has a war with Dustin Brown. Dustin Brown, always tough on grass.
Yep.
Always shows up for these matches on grass,
And
especially
he
in the
upset
250s.
Alexander Zverev.
Which, to be honest, was not necessarily shocking when I saw the draw. You see that, and you see Dustin Brown there. And you got to think there's going to be a little bit of trouble there. It's the first match on grass for Zverev. It's nothing to panic about.
Yeah.
He's got Halle to warm up again for
Wimbledon.
He already won his first round, so he's good to go. I'm still on his bandwagon in terms of the grass court season. I think he makes a run in Wimbledon, waiting to see on his draw. But I thought he looked okay against Dustin Brown. Dustin Brown definitely showed up to play. And the match against Felix Auger-Aliassime, he not necessarily should have won, but he served for the match.
Yeah, and he had a match point.
Yeah, so...
My big takeaway is you see Berrettini not getting broken in this tournament, and then also Struff having 3 great matches all in straight sets until he met Berrettini in the semifinals. I like those two very powerful, big guys.
Yeah, big guys around 6'5", 6'6". They're burly, big serves, but they're also solid off the baseline. Like, the one thing I love about Struff is that he's not necessarily, when you think of a big guy, he doesn't play necessarily like a big guy. He still he'll suffer a little bit. He'll fight some balls off behind the baseline. He will look for that big backhand, so when he can pinch, he'll pinch off of both sides, and he has the ability to do so, like almost every single one of these guys does. But he's got a lot of extra power there. He's got a lot of extra gears that he can take it to, and he's got that massive serve behind him, and he's also phenomenal at transitioning, like we've said before. Great hands. He's a great doubles player, so that definitely has transitioned to his game. Like you've seen that with Pierre-Hughes Herbert, helps him with his game. And he has good variety in terms of what he's trying to do. He has a lot of different looks that he can throw at you, and I think the grass definitely helps him out.
Yeah.
Because it plays so fast, but I mean it incorporates coming to net, which is very important. And since he plays so big and has those extra gears, it makes him even tougher, makes him even more of a threat. Yeah. So definitely someone to watch. And then Matteo Berrettini, similar in terms of his burly stature, but he has a lot of variety in the sense of he's got a great slice. He likes to use it a lot. He likes to run around that backhand a lot, even on the grass. He's looking for his two-handed backhand is kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but it's not necessary. It's not traditional. It's almost like a it doesn't really have any wrist in it. It's kind of just like a not a bunt, but he doesn't drive through it a ton. He'll deflect it line, like if you put like he'll change direction. He'll change direction really well. He redirects the ball a lot on his backhand. But I love the slice with the forehand. I mean, that's something that is
Especially
so tough on the grass. And he's got
he'll be able to come in off of that.
He's got the massive serve, and he's been transitioning well. He had a great clay court swing. Had his biggest win year to date over Zverev in his career, actually, in Rome. And he's playing well. He's what, 26, 24, 26, 26. He's a younger guy. He's on the younger age of the spectrum. And so there's a lot of upside there, and he played a phenomenal match, and he won his first match in, what was it, Halle too? Has he played his first match in Halle? No, maybe he's in London. No, but Struff did. Struff has won his first match in Halle. So there's a lot of upside there.
And then moving on to Erdogan-Bosch, you saw Nicolas Yari upset the 1 seed Stefanos Tsitsipas. I thought Tsitsipas just needed a match, just a warm-up match before getting into the 500 that he's playing in, I believe, London, where it got washed out today. I think just coming off of that really emotional and long 5-setter against Wawrinka, he needed to get over it a bit with the match. Doesn't really mean much.
I tend to disagree there. I disagree with you saying he needed to get over it. He's over it. I think it's just difficult to get up for a match. Like the match against Wawrinka, there's so much in that match, so much emotion and stuff like that. When you play a first round in a 250, when there's like 100 people watching you and the stands are barely full, like it's a little different atmosphere. Mm-hmm. And also, I don't think that was a problem here. It's, again, warm-up match. Jari's already had a match, and he gets a little unlucky here and there, and that decides the match. He's not as sharp as he would be. I mean,
and there's some tough conditions. It was quite windy.
So, and a big move for Jordan Thompson here.
I've always liked Jordan Thompson. Last year, he was a major threat on the Challenger Tour. He played primarily Challengers. I mean, he won the most Challenger matches last year. He's been in and out of
Challengers and ATP events. But the guy, he's got a great game for grass. Slides the ball through the court off of both groundies, especially on the forehands. It's not necessarily a heavier. He doesn't have a massive heavy forehand, and his backhand seems to slide through the court well, just like Adrian Mannarino, which the grass helps out Mannarino a lot. Yeah. So they kind of had similar game styles in the sense that they slide the ball with the backhand. It's a flatter ball. Mannarino's got a little more variety, a little more talent. I would say, obviously talent, but he's got that kind of shawarma he can throw in there. More so than Thompson. And I mean, when you look at Hertogenbosch, you see Mannarino beat George 7-6 in the third. Again,
and he also beat Goffin, who I think Goffin is looking quite good on the grass this year so far. He just beat Guido Pella 1-1 in, I forget which 500 it was, but
so I mean,
he's doing well.
This tournament, it's hard. The first 250 on grass, everyone's just, it's like who gets a few more matches here and there, and obviously, in some cases, it helps people out that they play a first round and the seeds don't, because the margins are so slim on the tour, and so that little bit of extra match practice will help. But as you get into Wimbledon, it will definitely even out, and you'll see the favorite. I mean, I don't see Adrian Mannarino taking out Borna Coric in Wimbledon.
No.
So, but that's that. Big win for Adrian Mannarino.
His maiden title, by the way. And moving on to Halle, you have Roger Federer as the 1 seed, and Zverev as the 2, and then Borna Coric, the defending champion, is coming back. All three have won their first round matches. Zverev had a very tough first round match against Robin Haase, and I thought he did quite well to keep that in straight sets. Haase was serving for it in the second at 5-3, but Zverev hung tough, and I think he's looking a lot better.
Berrettini did win his first round. He beat Basilashvili, which was disappointing for me.
But he's being a lot more aggressive, I feel, off of the ground.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see. I thought Federer looked decent today against Millman. Millman was playing well. So Federer is definitely the favorite to win the tournament. Has to be. He's Roger Federer. But when I look at this draw, I mean, Struff, again, this guy is going to live off of 250 and 500s. He's just going to keep on bolstering his ranking. He takes out Laszlo Djere today in definitely, I would say, not routine, but for a professional score is pretty straightforward. He had a really good performance. He now has Karen Khachanov, which is one of the best second rounds we have here. Definitely, yeah, I'd say the best second round, and will determine who I think makes the semis. Or it could be Berrettini, but you see those guys, and they're definitely that crop of player in terms of that was never in the next gen or heralded as this.
Exactly.
Or heralded by the ATP per se, and I could see them they're gonna make inroads into the top 20 for sure. They got the game to do it. The game is getting bigger and bigger, but at the same time they have this solid base. So what I'm really looking for in this tournament and what I can see is I could see Zverev taking it home. I do. I think Fed needs a little time to warm up. I think Zverev, he looked good against Robin Haase. That was a dangerous match for a first match. I think I have a Zverev Fed final, and everything tells me Fed, and that's why I probably will take Fed to win this.
I'm going to take Zverev here in the final. However, I do like Bautista Agut on grass this year.
He's not. He's going to have to play Federer.
I completely agree, but I think...
And he has to get by Gasquet, and Gasquet's has been great on grass. What I really would like, and what I've liked about Zverev in his last couple matches with Dustin Brown and Robin Haase, he is closer to the baseline. He's forced closer to the baseline. And I think the closer he is to the baseline, the more dangerous he's going to be. And when it comes to Wimbledon, none of these guys are going to beat him in best out of 5, where he struggles with these matches, like losing to a Dustin Brown. So, I mean, and with a bigger stage too. So I think it's definitely a lot of positives coming from Zverev as he's closer to the baseline. The serve is getting up there. I mean, he's just
creating the presence that he had in years past.
Yeah, he's got a tough road to get there. I mean, Steve Johnson, I don't think will give him any problems, but a possible Goffin match and then a possible either Berrettini, Struff, Khachanov, big players, definitely.
Yeah.
That will be a challenge because those guys can force him off the baseline. It's whether he drifts too far back and gives up the baseline willingly. That will be interesting. And on the bottom half of the top half of the draw, obviously Fed, I have it moving through, but I love Pierre Hughes Herbert on the grass. I was saying this before, but his game, he's comes forward so well. He's got a great serve. He's got that massive back arch. And I think his game trends, his forehand slides through the court. It's not a heavier forehand. I think on the grass it definitely helps him with that. And I love how he just surges forward through the court. He moves so cleanly, and so fluidly.
And he's obviously an incredible volleyer.
Yeah. So I think...
And then just going back to Fed in the past 2 years or so, he's struggled in his first couple tournaments on grass. Obviously not in Wimbledon, but
he lost to Tommy Haas 2 years ago in the first round of Stuttgart.
Last year in Stuttgart, I think he played multiple 3-set matches. He ended up winning the tournament, but then in Halle, this tournament last year, he lost to Chorch in the finals. So I really do think a Bautista Agut could give him some trouble, or even Chorch again, if they meet in the semifinals. However, I do have Zverev taking Fed out in the final.
Interesting. So then you have the Fevertree Championships, the 500 in London. And this one, in my opinion, is the more potent draw, excluding the top 2 seeds. I mean, it evens out, but this has always been, in my opinion, the tougher of the two. You have Tsitsipas is your 1 with a Kyle Edmund first round. Barely any action's gotten underway because of rain. But you see, this draw is it's wide open. I mean, I have no clue as to who will who
the
will win
matchups,
this.
first round matchups
Are awesome. We
very
have like Dimitrov against Felix Auger-Aliassime.
and obviously Edmund versus Tsitsipas.
Del Potro, Shapovalov,
Yeah.
Kekanato, Raonic. Kekanato's dropped off.
Daniel Evans versus Stan Wawrinka. I'm actually very excited for that one.
Yeah, and
Rematch
then
of
you
earlier
had
this
Medvedev against Verdasco. So when I first looked at this draw, I was like, okay, I have no clue who's gonna win. But now I'm on the Cilic bandwagon in this
Yes.
tournament. He won it last year. He's the defending champion. He had a very convincing start against Christian Garin, then ran into some trouble, but Garin basically gifted that match to him at the end. But he won it last year. He took out Djokovic. And as I said, I think with the big guys who have struggled this year, the grass is going to be their saving grace. They're going to get a little more confident in the sense that they can, their big shots are going to get a little more value, put them in better position. And I feel that they're going to feed off of that, like the Zverevs, the Cilics, the Kachanovs, all those guys. I feel like they're going to benefit from the grass season, and I think it's going to turn around their season for them. I think they're going to find better form.
And another big player in Kevin Anderson is making his comeback, his first tournament back from injury since Miami. He struggled against Cameron Norrie.
I thought it was actually a good match from him. I thought having the gun held to his head, he found a way through that. And I didn't think it was that bad of a level from him. I mean, Cameron Norrie's experience on grass. He's a Brit. He's playing at home. And his first match back, I thought it was a pretty good win. I mean, a win is a win when you're coming back. I thought it was pretty good. And then he's going to have to play Simone, who's so cagey and tough. But I think on this bottom half, I would say Cilic. And then I'd venture to stay Stan Wawrinka.
Really?
Yeah.
He's never really liked grass.
Yeah, but I still think the guy has so much going for him.
I've got Dan Evans taking out Stan.
I don't think Dan Evans will be able to not
He
necessarily
won the Challenger
handle,
in
but I think
Nottingham
he's got too much gas for the
last
guy.
week, I believe. So he's playing
He
well
did.
for sure.
But my real question mark is with Del Potro on the grass. We know he was compromised in Roland Garros with that match against Kachanov. Struggled in the second round against Nishioka with the knee. The knee will always be giving him problems. And then you also have Raonic there, who's had injury problems too. So and then you have your past champion Feliciano Lopez, who's hanging around there. So who knows if he can do anything? But that's not happening. But so the top half is the big question mark for me, because I don't think Tsitsipas has been. I think Tsitsipas could lose to Edmund, 100%.
I think he could lose, but I think he's going to get through it. And
Edmonds has struggled this year. He's at home. He's on the grass. I have absolutely no clue who's going to move through the top of the draw. My only.
I've got Tsitsipas taking out maybe like a Felix Auger-Aliassime in the quarterfinals to reach the semis, and then I'd see. I mean, I don't know. This second quarter, you never know with Milos Raonic. I don't know how he's faring in terms of his having to withdraw last week, and then Del Potro we don't know anything about, so that's kind of a wild card in that sense. So I've got Tsitsipas moving into the finals, and then thereafter I'll take Aaron Cilic to reach the finals as well and take out.
I've Cilic winning it. I think Edmund beats Tsitsipas first round. That's my opinion. Edmund struggled this year, but again, I like his game on the grass. His backhand slides through the court well, and I don't like Tsitsipas on the grass.
Really?
I think he needs the time. He does.
He's found success last year. He reached the fourth round of Wimbledon.
Yes, but he's of that caliber of player, especially in 5 best of 5 sets. And I think Edmund is the better player on the grass, and the grass suits his game a lot better. I don't think it suits Tsitsipas well. I really don't.
He really likes to come to net, and he's got a massive serve. Sure, his ground
doesn't have a massive serve.
It is.
He does not have massive serve. Like if you said Struff had a massive serve, I say yes. Right. I don't think Tsitsipas has a massive serve.
It's a big serve.
All these guys have big serves, but it's not. Well,
anyway, he loves to come to net. He's a great volleyer.
He doesn't transition to net.
He trains in
all the time. And I think Edmund has enough firepower to keep him back. What is he going to come off of?
On clay, he came into net, I believe, like 65 times in match.
Stan Wawrinka's against the fence. What else is he going to do?
No, I think it was against Filip Krajinovic, but that's...
I mean, the guy's against the fence. He's tempting him to come in. Of course he's going to come in. That's the smart play there, yes.
No, but he's always...
You saw Djokovic bum rush the net. Are you going to say Djokovic loves coming to net? No, he does not love coming to net. But he does come to net.
In all of his matches, he's done it.
All right, so that point is mute. But that top half of the draw, I would say Adrian Mannarino coming through, but I can't bet on him.
All right.
But I mean, he's playing Nick Kyrgios. I think Mannarino is fit to. So I'm actually going to go out on a limb and say Edmund comes through. I think
going to the semis. Or getting
to the semis.
I pressure you into that one.
I think going to the semis, I'd pick a healthy Raonic to make it to the finals.
Anyone would, though.
I mean, Del Potro, too, is there.
I see Raonic is a better grass court player.
I mean, I hope Raonic is not going to have a problem with Kekanato. That's going to be a joke. And same with Diminor Beninay. My only thing is his injury. I'd say I take Raonic to the finals, but I hope he doesn't get injured. But we'll see. That's what I got. Next week, we're going to come back at you guys, recap this stuff. Then we're going to be previewing, I think, what's the tournament we have? Nottingham?
You've got Eastbourne and...
Eastbourne. They hold, like, the same place. And Wimbledon qualies will be starting up next week. So we'll catch you guys next week. Thank you for listening.